I am really honored to have this sit down with William Adams, also known as Bill. Bill is a plastic surgeon based in Dallas, Texas, where everything's bigger, also the implants. And he's also the president of the American Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgery. And he's also a medical educator that travels around the globe to provide medical education to plastic surgeons. And Bill, thank you for coming to Israel in those
Absolutely. It's a pleasure
special
to be
COVID
here.
times.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great to actually come to a live meeting. You know, it's so much better than the virtual stuff that we've endured the past year. So yeah, TLV Breast Meeting has been fantastic.
First time in Israel?
First time, yeah.
Okay, hopefully not the last.
No,
Okay,
definitely not.
perfect. So, I have a few questions. First of all, what's your practice like? What do you do in your day-to-day? What are the surgeries that you're most known for, and what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, now my surgery now, or my practice now is very different, you know, from when I started, but I'm very much just aesthetic breast and body practice, much more heavily weighted to breast, probably 80%, 20%, and that's it. That's all I really do, all I focus on, and so that's what I spend my time doing.
What did you start? How did it
Well,
morph?
I started full time at UT Southwestern, so I was doing all sorts of things. We did, trauma, tons of microsurgery, replants, a lot of breast reconstruction, even craniofacial things, hand surgery. So really everything that you typically would do in a big medical center like UT Southwestern.
So what is the surgery that today you're most known for?
Well, I think certainly what I publish and go speak about and get invited to talk about is breast. So, all things breast, particularly breast augmentation, breast implant-based surgeries. We've done a lot of research on that. So that's probably what I'm most known for.
So you're voted #1 by Newsweek as a breast augmentation practitioner. How do you get to that?
I have no idea. That was actually a pleasant surprise, but I'm not sure how they came to that, but it's quite interesting. So I think what you do is if you want to become an expert in an area, you got to work at it. You've got to not only do it, but you've got to do research in it. You've got to educate. You've got to dedicate yourself to being a true expert.
By the way, if your bread and butter is breast augmentation, is this also your favorite surgery to perform?
I don't necessarily think I have a favorite, but definitely breast surgery in general is what I would say my favorite thing is. But I don't think it's just one particular aspect of breast surgery.
Okay. I have a question. How do you get to be the president of the ASAPs and also a global educator, going around, and how does Bill, the resident, become William Adams?
Well, I mean, I think certainly the Aesthetic Society, we kind of talk about our why is that we educate, and so education is an integral part of the identity of the Aesthetic Society. That's always been a passion of mine. I've always been an educator. Even when I was a resident, I used to give lectures to the medical students, so it's been a long time doing some type of education along my journey, so to speak. But, as you do more of that and you get invited places, you decide, whether that's something, you like and you'd like to continue doing. The Aesthetic Society, again, has that same value. So I really, that resonated a lot with me. I did a lot of stuff through the years with the Aesthetic Society. As you do more, just like becoming an expert in a certain discipline, same thing in professional societies. You're doing work with the societies. They're getting to know you, and over time, this is my second tour through leadership. I was the president of ASERF, which is Aesthetic Surgery Education and Research Foundation, in 2014. And then I've gone through the full leadership for the Aesthetic Society, and it's a great honor to be a president of the Aesthetic Society. It's just a fantastic organization, focused on expertise in aesthetic surgery. We've been doing it 55 years, and again, our focus is educating.
And when you were a resident, who did you look up to? Like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of mentors, luckily, which was one of the fantastic things being in Dallas at the time. But we had so many leaders in aesthetic surgery between, my chairman and my boss was Rod Rourke, but, we had Fritz Barton and Steve Bird. And, and then, really in my, after my residency, it's not like you learn everything in your residency. So you continue to learn. We're still continuing to learn, right? Or even at this meeting, we learn. I met John Tebbets after I graduated my residency, but he and I became very close friends. And he was really a key mentor for me in breast surgery.
Yeah, Tebbets. It's amazing to be in Texas in the same time with him.
So there, and then there's others. You go around in these meetings, you meet people. So I met Pat Maxwell, I met Scott Spear, I met Paradin. And those, and now. All you guys are, I say, my mentors. So we learn from each other. That's what good educators do and good surgeons do.
Okay.
We're open.
In the crazy hot matrix, what kind of what the parameters do you prefer in terms of crazy and hot?
So I like the unicorns.
The unicorns.
Like my wife, she's a unicorn.
She is, for sure. I didn't met her, but we need to show Bill's boots. These are Texan boots. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, some funny stuff, okay? First of all, what's your favorite OR music?
Classic rock. I actually use Pandora because it's just easy. You put it on something and you listen.
What's classic rock to you?
Classic rock, anything from Led Zeppelin to...
it is classic.
Bon Jovi to Motley Crue,
Pearl Jam.
Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam, all that stuff, so I like that, but I like all kinds of music. We'll listen sometimes. We were listening to hip hop for a while, and then the nurses told us we couldn't play it anymore. I think the language got a little bit much for them, but usually classic rock.
Okay, perfect. What's your favorite food? Dish.
Actually, the food is very good here in Israel, but Italian is probably my go-to.
This is a consensus, I see. Everybody loves Italian.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your go-to? No, not Franklin barbecue or something?
Yeah, it's excellent. I like that too. I think, barbecue, we cook, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
You and I both
we love meat.
Smoked brisket, whatever. That's great stuff too. But yeah, if I'd name one thing, that's probably
okay. What's your favorite hobby nowadays? As a plastic surgeon, do you have time?
It's hard. It's tough. It's tough getting time these days. But I do two things. I cycle. Mostly indoors on Zwift, which is
Zwift.
online
I know Zwift. I love cycling.
Yeah. So I do that, and then
the Zwift commercials.
And I play guitar
with an iPod, with an iPad.
With Zwift.
The Zwift.
No, I put it on TV.
Okay.
Cooked in through a desktop computer.
And you play guitar.
Play guitar, yeah. And
do you perform in plastic surgery conventions?
Not. I'm probably not good enough to do it yet.
Okay.
I did join a band recently. A good friend of mine.
What do you play?
Louis Rios. I play guitar. Louis plays bass, but we've got a lot to practice before we're going to be performing for anybody.
What's your favorite country outside of Israel? We don't matter.
Yeah.
In the
Israel.
States. Who cares?
Yeah.
But what's your favorite country outside of the States?
Yeah, and if you went by how many times I visited, Italy probably would be it. I've been to Italy so many times. Obviously love the food.
Does not change.
My wife actually went. She's a fantastic chef, and so she went and took a cooking course in Italy. So yeah, Italy probably be my next to Israel.
Okay. Yes.
Italy probably.
Is there one thing everybody knows? Mostly everything about. Is there one thing that nobody knows about you that you can tell us? That you're willing to tell us?
Yeah, I don't think anybody really knows. I think everybody knows everything about me, but. One thing I'll tell you is that, I've always prioritized things I think well in my life, and so I'm first like a dad and a family person, So even though we're really busy, we spend a lot of quality time as a family. My two kids are 17 and 19. My wife's an ENT surgeon, but that's been great, because at the end, you've got to have a great family life. So that's probably some things maybe people are like, oh, this guy just travels around and he does all this stuff, and you know, he must have a terrible family life. But that's not. You can do them both.
Okay,
for sure.
Perfect. What would be, to finish things off, what would be your kind of take-home message or for our residents if they want to become maybe global leaders one day? It's very simplistic, and I know no one advice can encompass all what you can achieve, but is there one thing you can tell them if they want to go to this road?
Yeah, I always say, you know, one of my favorite quotes was by Aristotle, like old quote, right? And it said, excellence is not a habit, excellence is not an act, it's a habit. And that just means like you're not born like an expert in anything. You know, if you like, say, breast surgery, nobody's born an incredible breast surgeon. Actually, the people that become experts really work at it. You know, whether it's you go visit people, you go learn about it, you start doing it, you go back and learn more, you read more, you do studies. And over time, you'll become an expert, but it doesn't come naturally. Nobody's just gifted that. Nobody's genetically, you know, just a great breast surgeon. So it takes a lot of time, energy, dedication. And if you want to be the best, you can be that way, but you've got to work.
Put in the time. Thank you. This is excellent advice. Do we have something to say to Daniel DeVecchio? That he's not here?
Dan, yeah, we're sorry Dan's not here. You know, one of my very, very good friends, but Dan, like,
you missed out yesterday.
Nobody knows you, man.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you.
Nobody. Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving me your time.
Absolutely.
Perfect.